Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday, April 11th, Tarkir Dragonstorm release date. The day we've all been waiting for. Can the price of the Tarkir Dragonstorm collector booster box hold from its really high price from pre-sale of about 360, 370? And looks like it may hold. Well, it didn't hold the 360, 370, but it did hold the high price of over 300. So what I learned is that for TCG Player presale, the date, so let's say for this instance, it's April 11th, Friday, and the item goes off presale literally like at 12 a.m. Eastern time in the United States. So basically, last night at 12 a.m. Eastern, this product and all Tarkir Dragonstorm products and any pre-sale products goes live. And what that means is everybody can start listing. So what happened was we went from about a quantity of about 80, 90 during pre-sale, and it shot up to over 200 immediately last night. And of course, that made the price come down as more supply came into the market. But the demand for Tarkir Dragonstorm is just really, really high. And so from last night till now, the quantity of the collector box for Tarkir has gone down under 200, and we are sitting at 185. Very, very impressive. The price is definitely holding above 300. It did briefly drop to a little under 300 or like low 300s, and if you look at the data, we'll see a couple of boxes sold that like one box sold exactly at 300. Now, one thing to account for is that when you look at the sales history data on TCG Player, it does not show the shipping price. So the price you see here is the price before shipping. Now, most of these prices, most of the sellers sell it with shipping included. So a lot of these do factor in shipping, but sometimes if they, let's say this $300 one was $300, but $15 shipping, that $15 will not be factored in, or you'll not see it reflected in the sales history. So it looks like, see, we did have, so this is April 11th. That's today. Like a lot of boxes sold today. This thing's flying off the shelves. People probably were, heeding that you do not buy pre-sale on TCG Player. And so, a bunch of people, thousands of people paid over 320, 350, 360. And I'm sure a good number of people paid below, and I hope you did. But look at how many sold today. 307, 4 boxes, one at 399, right? So you wait. So even if for something so popular as Tarkir Dragonstorm, you wait until release date, the price will come down. Of course, if you were able to get it under 300, great job, right? You recognize that this was going to be a good product and that price was a good price. And if you can somehow still get it on 300, oh, by the way, I saw this morning that GameStop is selling them for about $275 a box pre-tax. And if you're a GameStop Pro member, you get like another 5% off of that. So you can actually get it for about $265 before tax from GameStop while their supplies last. I have no idea if that's still available right now, but check it out if you're looking to get this for a decent price. My LGS was selling this for $300. I don't know if they still have any more. And the price is, I think, is only going to go up from here. All right, so look, a lot of boxes sold in the low 300s, but on April 10th, right? This is like the end of April 10th, which was last night. I think it went live, like the presale ended. But if you see before the presale ended, you can see here a bunch of boxes sold, 368, around $370 mark. And again, do not buy presale on TCG Player. Okay, so let's see how many boxes of Tarkir Dragonstorm has sold. Over 3,000. We've already hit 3,056. Watch this. Watch once I refresh this. Let's see if that number goes up. 3,056. I refreshed. Okay, none has sold since then, but look at this. This thing is selling so fast. And we are looking at only 180 quantity left with 3,056 sold on release date. Now, let's compare that to Bloomborough. Okay, and again, Bloomborough released August 2nd. That's the official release date, was August 2nd of last year. And in that time frame, Bloomborough has sold 3,534. Okay, so Tarkir Dragonstorm, on day one of the release, is essentially just 500 boxes behind Bloombro. Of course, there's only TCG player data, but that's really insane. Bloombro is sitting at 421, 500 more boxes sold. Tarkir is sitting at 323, about $100 less, 500, and it's only 500 boxes sold behind Bloombro. There are only 180 boxes on the market right now. I'm certain there are more, and they will come to market, and this will sell more boxes than Bloombro in a much shorter amount of time, and the price, I believe, will go up. I think that not only that, but more boxes of Tarkir Dragonstorm are just being cracked open, right? Like people are cracking them by the case because there are a lot of really good chase cards. You have the serialized Mox Jasper. People really like the Halo foil treatment. You have the Planeswalkers in Halo foil. They look incredible, and they're really good cards. The cards are powerful. And then you also have the chase fetch lands, right? And the fetch lands in that dragon scale treatment, which looks really nice. And then you have those dragon islands. Yeah, they're not worth that much, $5-6 each. They might have dropped down now. Actually, let's take a look at what those lands are going for. I don't even know how I can find this. Let's see. What am I even supposed to search for? Let's see. Let's just search for Tarkir Dragonstorm. Let's filter it by. Oh, maybe we'll find some here. Filter it by best selling. And what are the best selling items? Of course, you have the seal products. You have the Planeswalkers, Quarry Steel Cutter. This card, people really, I think it's shooting up a lot. Mistrise Village is it's best selling, but price is a lot lower than what we had anticipated. Voice of Victory, Crater Hoof. All right, let's see where are these lands? Here we go. The drag, so about $5.50, $6. The other ones are probably about the same, maybe a little less. Say $5 for the swamp. The island, which I think is one of the best looking ones, is like $3.50, $4. So yeah, they're not that expensive, but it's the only way to get them is either you buy singles, which of course that's always the best route to do if you're looking for certain cards, but it's the only way to open them is in the collector booster box. Okay, so 500 boxes sold behind Bloombro. Once we hit that, we're definitely gonna see like it's happening. Okay, so play booster boxes, 117. Now again, play booster boxes are just gonna be printed forever or for the next 2 years, and so really not much to look at. Although I do want to note that 117 is I would say is high for a play booster box because 30 packs, right? And compare it to Aether Drift or whatever, that thing's sitting at like $90 something. So anyway, not much to talk about for play boosters. I wouldn't crack them myself per se. I would try to just use them to draft. But if you're looking for a quick fix, I guess you could do it. Not recommended by me. Bundles. I always like bundles because I feel like they don't really make that many. And so if you hold them, the price will appreciate. And for Tarkir Dragonstorm, because the set is so popular, I think this bundle can have very good long-term value. And it's already sitting at $47 a bundle. Almost 2,000 have been sold, and there's 383 left on this market for now. So we'll have to look back on the bundle as the days come. Okay, Commander decks. Again, Commander decks will be reprinted, so this stuff is, it's not really going to go up much for now, but it is holding a pretty high price. This is 5 decks. People like the cards. So we'll have to see how the Commander decks do as well for Tarkir Dragonstorm. My sense is it will do very well, just like all of the Tarkir Dragonstorm products. And here's the sleeper product, right? The pre-release pack. This is the set of 5, so I think if you buy all 5, you get a little bit of discount. You can buy them individually, and as we saw here in the best-selling products, you'll see them individually, and they all have prices. Like, look at this one. The Teamer one, the individual box is selling for $54. And then the Abzan one, a lot less, but it's still over $40 because there's $5 shipping for the cheapest one, and then so there's one box that's going for like $43, $44, $43, $42, and then immediately after that it shoots up to $55 for the Abzan box. So they're like, most of them are sitting in like close to $50 or above $50 per box. There's 5 of them. So the set of 5, 250, that makes sense. 30, only 32 in the market for all the set of 5. 420 sold total so far. This could have some long-term value. I know that at my LGS, they ran out of these boxes like after two nights of pre-release, and then so they just had to start doing 6 booster packs. So sleeper product, we'll see. All right, compare. I want to compare again. As we always do, look at some of the collector booster boxes of the previous recent sets, especially the popular ones like Foundation and Bloomborough. Bloomborough, right? We talked about it real quick. About 500 more boxes sold, sitting at 420, 421, 423. Foundations, this released in November, so it's only been out for about 6 months. It's sold about 3,900, so about 900 or 850 more than Tarkir, and this is at 480. There's only 55 Foundations boxes on the market, on TCG Player market currently. We'll see how that changes. We'll always come back to this stuff. And 80 for Bloomborough currently on the market. So now let's take a look before we end the video at some of the really badly performing products of late. So Aether Drift, right? It's still going down. I mean, we crossed below 180. The lowest sale price was 165, but we are right now sitting at about 180, 6 boxes on the market. And when we look at Aether Drift, the sales data total, there's 468 on the market total right now, which is a lot. I mean, if you look at Bloomborough, there's only 80 on the market. Foundations is only 55. Tarkir Dragonstorm, it just released today. There's 180. Aether Drift, there's 468. And it's only sold 1,800. So not even close to that 3,000 mark. It seems like this TCG Player total sold 3,000 is like a pretty good indicator. If the collector boxes can sell over 3,000, we're looking at good price appreciation. If it cannot hit that, we're going to be looking at or below retail or even distribution price. So, but how long will it take for Aether Drift collector box to hit that 3,000 mark? I'm not sure. It could take years, right? At this rate, their average sold per day is 6. So how far are we off from 3,000? We're like 1,200 off. If you divide that by 6, my math, don't quote me on my math. My math is terrible, but at 10 days there's 60, and we need 1,200. 100 days is 600, so 200 days. So a little more than 6-7 months. We'll see what happens to Aether Drift collector box in 6 months. We'll take a look near the end of this year and see how that one's doing. And then also Innistrad Remaster, another set that did not do well. A little better than Aether Drift, but it is more expensive of a product. These remastered sets. Okay, so 337 on the market. Aether Drift has 468. This came out, I think, around December or January. When did this set come out? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Set sucks, right? Anyway, or it's not doing well financially. 2,479, about 2,500 sold. It has not crossed that 3,000 mark, but it is getting close to that 3,000 mark. So we're really going to need to take a look at this and see what happens when it does cross that 3,000 total sold mark on TCG Player. And only 4 average daily sold per day. So if we are about 500 off and only 4 per day, we're still looking at 100 days. So 3 months, a little over 3 months from now. So we'll check back on this to see what happens once it crosses that 3,000 mark. That is my magic number. That's my prediction. Cross 3,000, you're going to start appreciating in price. All right, well, Tarkir Dragonstorm, have fun, everyone. Good luck out there, and have a great weekend. I'll see you all next week.